Outside, eh?
Yeah, why not? It's a little chilly, but
Good morning,
I
everybody.
don't
This
like
is
that angle.
Paul Romero with the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owner Network Marketing Training number 79. No, I'm sorry, 96 on this new op day. New op day 27, no, 28, 29. What is today? The 10th, 9th. 2915. That's the beauty of being self-employed. And I don't need to really know what the date is, to be honest with you. The only reason I need to know is so I can tell you when I come here. And fortunately, my computer has it on their screen, so I can cheat. And that's another little plus of network marketing. You can cheat everywhere you go. In fact, I'm going to cheat this morning because I'm going to work right out of the book. Right out of this book right here. I'm going to open it up right in front of you guys, and I'm going to be looking right in the book. So I'm going to be cheating this morning. And you know what? It's okay. There's not a problem with it. Nobody's got a problem with it. They're going to tell me to do it. They're going to help me with it. So, hey, you know what? I'm going to cheat by leaning on John. Let him pick up this conversation right now.
Oh, well, thank you, Paul. Man, I just jumped on this hangout there right under the wire. I'm happy that I made it here on time. It was about to start conversating with you, and you're like, shut up, we're going, hey, this is Paul Romero. I love that in the morning. But and I'm excited because it is New Op Day. It's that amazing, wonderful day squeezed between Sunday and Tuesday that I don't think enough people in this world give it the love and credence that it deserves. So I'm very excited. As Paul said, being self-employed, it's very easy to forget the date sometimes. And you know what's funny about that is I usually shoot, sorry about that. My phone started ringing. Usually I have my ringer turned off.
Did I say self-employed? If I said self-employed, slap me and slap yourself for saying it too.
I was going to get to that actually, but I was just going to talk about the date because it'll take me the entire year to get used to writing 2015, and just as I begin to remember to write 2015 instead of 14, that's usually when the following year comes up, and then it's 2016, and I'm just getting used to writing 2015. It's because the time just flies by so fast, which is why it's so important to treat everything you do with a sense of urgency and to eliminate the word and the definition of procrastination from your life. And as Paul did say, we are not self-employed. In fact, we're unemployed, which is the greatest thing in the world, and I've been unemployed for 10 years. So, and as Paul said, one of the beauties of network marketing is that, in a manner of speaking, it's okay to cheat, and you don't have to be perfect, and you can always look on someone else's paper, so to speak, and cheat right off your upline sponsor or your upline trainer and cheat right out of the Own Your Life Plan book. You know, no one's quizzing you or testing you on this stuff. And, hey, that's what all the materials on the website are for, to use for your presentations, use to learn from, and refer to at any time. There's no test where you can't look up the answers. So with that being said, happy New Op Day. Paul, welcome to the call, and I'm going to go ahead and toss it back to you now.
Cool. We left off in the middle of Chapter 6, which is the Ships at Sea napkin presentation that has a picture of looking, oops, should probably switch this back over to my screen. Yeah, which has a, there you can see it. I got to get a better internet connection because this is just horrible. I can't even tell if you guys see that. Chapter 6, Ships at Sea, and there's the little drawing, the gold ship, the silver ship, the shoreline, and the MT ship, which is the empty ship. And basically what this chapter is about is the people that you are bringing in, the people that you're sponsoring, the people that get all excited about wanting to do this business. And this is all about how you determine who these people are, what their seriousness is, what they're really willing to do as far as building an organization goes, and what they're not willing to do as far as building an organization goes, and whether they fall into one of these three categories. The gold ship being the person who's going to be out there, you know, calling you up, asking you questions, wanting your help, all these things. When you call them, they're going to be excited to talk to you. You know, the silver ships are the ones that they're trying to figure some things out. They feel like they are ready to do this, but they just need that nudge. They need there's something missing that's preventing them from going forward, but they're still excited. They hold on to that excitement. And the empty ships are the ones that, pretty much sign up, do nothing, get a little irritated every time you call to see how things are going, and and all of that. And so those are basically the three kinds of people that you're going to have, sponsored into your organization. And you're not going to know who they are until they're already in, they're signed up, and then they start, doing the things or not doing the things that they need to be doing. And this is really important about this chapter, is about you making those determinations and picking out the people that you want to spend your time with. Most people have the tendency to spend their time with the empty ships. And that's, because they're not doing anything. So they want to spend their time trying to get these guys going. The thing is, if you're spending your time with an empty ship and that ship is sinking, it's going to pull you down underneath with it, because all the while you could have been working with your gold ships and your silver ships and actually building your organization, opposed to working with these empty ships and having nothing happen. I hope that makes sense to you. So the whole idea behind this chapter is to figure out who these people are once you get them into the organization, once you sponsor them in, and then realize where you really need to spend your time, and to be able to have the willpower and the strength to quickly cut ties with empty ships, let them sink on their own, because you know what, by the time they sink down to the bottom and they hit bottom, if you're working with your gold ships and your silver ships and then they start soaring, you might see these empty ships all of a sudden hit bottom and go, wow, wait, look what all these other people have done. Why haven't I done nothing? Maybe they wake up and they give you a call one day and say, hey, you know what? I'm ready to do this. Will you help me? So that's the whole idea behind this chapter, is just really kind of determining the people that you bring into your organization and where and who you want to spend your time with.
Absolutely. That sums up the beginning of the chapter very well. And I just want to point out that whenever somebody does enter the organization, they're a silver ship from the start. And as Paul said, you can't determine right out the gate really who these people are until you start working with them and seeing what their actions are. And you'll be able to spot the gold ships right away. The gold ship is the one that's going to be calling you constantly, which is a good thing. As we said on previous Hangouts, I would want nothing more but to be called constantly from people in the downline, asking me questions, asking me for training, introducing me to the people they're sponsoring. And that's kind of what the gold ship is going to do. So if you're starting a new organization, and a lot of you are probably new that are watching this Hangout or that are coming in under us, you want to spend your time, obviously, with the gold ships and not do what most people end up doing, and that's making the mistake of spending all the time with the empty ship. And as Paul said, it's because you can get dragged down by a sinking ship. And as we talked about, I believe on the Hangout on Friday, we talked about 3 key elements to concentration. And this also relates to element number 1, or component 1 of concentration, and that is environment. And your environment is who and what and where, and yeah, who, what, where you're surrounding yourself with. So you want to be careful about the people you're really surrounding yourself with and spending time with, and you want to work with people who are dedicated to building their organization, that show enthusiasm, and that take action. And one of the signs of that is that phone ringing, and on the other end is your gold ship asking you questions and excited about the business. And you might find that the empty ship is probably the guy that just signed up just so you leave him the heck alone about it already, and and not saying an empty ship can't transform themselves, because it has happened. I haven't had experience transforming an empty ship, but one of the things that Don stresses in the book and a lot of the audios that are available to us on the Swiss Gold Global website is that the empty ships will be inspired, just as Paul was talking about, when they see the success of the gold and silver ships within your organization. And you do want to spend some time with the silver ships, because silver ships can be converted into gold ships. And what a silver ship is, They're enthusiastic about the business. Maybe what I imagine the silver ship to be is someone who's enthusiastic about the business that is a little bit uncomfortable with it in the beginning because it's out of their comfort zone. I'd say I've been an empty ship until recently, until this system really started to sink home, and now I'm opening the sails and the ship's taking off and it's turning to gold. But that silver ship is the guy that wants to do it. He's enthusiastic. He'll call you. He'll ask questions. He'll show up to your trainings, but he's really not sponsoring maybe a whole lot of people at first. You do want to remember that the gold ships are the one you want to work with, but you also want to give some time to the silver ships, because those are the ones that are probably newer to network marketing or never went out and sold or did anything like this before, and it's really about getting those people to have the mindset to get out of their comfort zone. So that's kind of my take on what Paul has already brought up, and I'm going to toss it back over to him, and he can progress us a little bit further through the chapter.
Yeah, exactly. You definitely, the gold ships you want to be working with, because they're going to be the ones that are out there doing it, building your organization. Silver ships, you definitely have to spend time with the silver ships, because those are the people you got to make that determination upon. Which direction are they going? Are they going up or are they going down? And if they're going down, snip, see ya, call me when you're ready. And if they're going up, you latch onto you latch them onto your train, and you help pull them up. So some of the real quickly characteristics for you to look for that'll make this determination for you as to who you're going to cut ties with and to who you're going to continue working with in this silver ship area are the fact that they are, they're eager to learn, they're always asking you for help, they're excited about the business, they have a commitment, they're making a commitment, they're using the product, they're buying and using the product and services. They have goals. They have lofty goals. Well, not necessarily lofty goals, but they have goals. Maybe they even have them written down. They're expressing them to you. They have their list of names. They're ready to make the calls. Maybe they just haven't started making them yet. They're fun to be with, and they're positive people. Okay. You find those 8 characteristics within somebody, and they're headed the right direction. If you have, several of these, but a few are missing, that's where they kind of get stuck in the gold ship. You need to make the determination. What are they lacking here? Where do they need to pick up, and shine a little bit more in? And then if they got none of this, or less than 3, say, these are the silver ships, or the empty ships that are going down. One of the things that you will also want to keep in mind is that whenever you're working with your people, one very important thing is that you never talk sales. You never want to call your people up, whether they're your gold ships, your silver ships, or your empty ships, and say, hey, how many new subscriptions did you sell this week? Or how much lotion and potion did you sell this week? Or in this case, how many memberships did you sign this week, or whatever? Because the second that word sell comes out of your mouth, you've invalidated everything that you've taught them up to this point. Because right in the very beginning, we told them this is not about selling. And you're coming around here and you're asking them how much they sold. So you got to get that word, just like that day between Sunday and Tuesday, that's now New Op Day, you got to get that word sell out of your vocabulary. It's sponsor. How many people did you sponsor this week? Were you able to talk to anyone this week? Did you how many conversations did you engage in this week? How many times did your business opportunity come up this week? All of those types of things, not what did you sell, how much did you sell. Got to keep that out of the vocabulary, because you just destroy everything that you built this up in their eyes to be, just immediately comes crumbling down. So I wanted to throw that in, John, and let you take off from there.
Yeah, you brought up a very, very good point about how to communicate with your downline. That's very important that you make that distinction there and really consider what Paul just said. And that's when you're reaching out to your downline to see how things are going. You never want to ask them how many subscriptions they sold. Because as we said from the very beginning, and I know Paul just said this, but I'm repeating it. Repetition is the mother of learning here. We're about teaching and training. We're sharing Swiss Gold Global, the products, the website, the ability to have the savings and the goal. We're sharing that with people because we ourselves are users of the product. We're not out there selling. We're sharing. And we're inviting people to hear the story of Swiss Gold Global. And then when they're part of our organization, we're teaching and training them how to share the story of Swiss Gold Global. So you want to be very careful when you're working with your downline that you never approach it in a way that refers to it as selling and calling them to see how much volume they did. You know, one of the things, too, that I would even suggest is if you want to find out how your downline is doing, one of the ways you can do that is, you know, rather than me call Paul, this is just an idea here, you know, I could call Paul and say, how's it going with your downline? If you talk to anyone new this week, is so-and-so doing well with the business? You know, maybe instead of calling Paul, one of the things you should be doing as an upline sponsor or as a training partner is you should be actually reaching out. What I should be doing is reaching out to Paul's downline and asking them, how's it going? How's Paul working out for you? Is there anything I can help with? You know, and ask his downline, how's Paul doing? And that might inspire the downline to get excited that, oh, you know, Paul's upline, the senior training partner, the way they view the upline of Paul, then they're coming and they're talking to me now, and that inspires them to call Paul. And then they call Paul and they say, oh, you know, John just gave me a call and he checked in with me to see how I was doing, and he was asking about you, and he seemed real excited about what I'm doing here for you, Paul, and the downline. And that's really inspiring to not only the downline, but also extremely inspiring to that person directly below me, in this case, in this example, Paul, to hear that, oh, you know, John's reaching out to the people on my downline, offering them help, talking about me, getting my people motivated. And what do you think kind of effect that's going to have on Paul? He's going to be extremely excited to go out and talk to more people. And that's just another way you're going to want to approach your downline, is through their downline, so the message reaches back up to them.
You stole my thunder on that one. That's where I was going next. But absolutely, you know, what the key to that is, you know, the fact that, you know, yeah, you can sponsor somebody in, and you can start helping them to, you know, start teaching them how they're going to go out and sponsor somebody. And you could leave it at that. You know, well, I mean, there's still another step. You still have to then, you know, train them how to teach their people how to go out and sponsor somebody. But a lot of people will try to focus just on working with the immediate people that they've brought into the organization, and just working with you to help you try to show you and teach you and let you go out there and do it. But once you've got someone out there, just like John was saying, if you kind of skip a step, or even 2 steps or 3 steps or 5 steps or 10 steps or 100 steps, you know, if you're reaching out to the bottom, the very, very end, the farthest reaching fingers of your downlines, and you're making contact with these people, how do you think that gets them excited? Who are you now? Your name is John? I don't know you. No, yeah, well, I could tell you a very long story about how Joe, who just sponsored you into the business, was sponsored by so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and how it leads back to me. But trust me when I tell you, I am part of your upline. I'm very distantly removed away from you, but you are very important to me and my organization, and I just want to let you know that I'm excited that you've made this decision to join this organization and to change your life, to own your life by building a home-based business through Swiss Gold Global, and I just think it's a fantastic thing. And if, you know, Joe, who sponsored you in, would like to have me sit in with a conversation with you guys, just let him know. You know, I'll be giving him a call to let him know too, but just let him know that, you know. And, I mean, just imagine if you just made that call from the bottom up, and then you called Joe and you said, hey, Joe, I was just talking to, you know, Sally that you just sponsored into the organization. Man, is she excited. She'd really like to get us on a call together one of these days. And Joe'd be going, who are you again now? But once they figure it out, I mean, can you imagine the excitement that would build in the farthest reaches of your organization? That's a lot of power, and it generates right back up, and like John says, that gets back up to, I sponsored Eddie over here, and that gets up to Eddie, and Eddie's calling me by this time, going, "Are you kidding me? I just got a call from so and so that you talked to so and so." Yeah, I mean, it lights a fire.
Absolutely. And as we talk about in, I believe it's chapter 3, about not having the salesman syndrome, we're not looking to go and build a wide organization and make sale after sale after sale after sale after sale. In a way, we're looking to do that, but in a different way. We go deep. My job, Paul's in my downline, is to help Paul to find his people. And then once he does, my job at that point is then to help Paul to train his people. To help Paul to train his people, and so forth and so on. So you're building a large organization by helping your downline keep growing and going deep, rather than going out and just selling a whole bunch of people, because we're not about selling. We're about teaching and training, and we share the story of Swiss Gold Global, and we're going to pick up some customers along the way that just want to have a subscription and buy the gold and silver and just be a user of the products, and that's great. And those are the people that we want to bring on board, and we don't necessarily really have to really work much with those people. But the people that come on board that make it clear that they want to build a network marketing organization and they want to be an independent business owner, they all come in as silver ships. They've taken the initiative, they signed up, and it's your job to work with those silver ships, help get them into gold ships. Identify who the gold ships are, spend most of your time there, and when your silver ships start sinking and they become empty ships, you've got to know when your time, quite frankly, is being wasted. And help your empty ships by showing them the success of your gold ships. And if that doesn't turn them around, well, they'll fall off and they'll sink, and you don't want to go down with a sinking ship. So with that, I'm going to toss it back to Paul here. He can go ahead and end us with the Napoleon Hill prayer. And I think I want to just thank everybody for being here. I'm going to try to be here Wednesday. If not, Paul and I talked yesterday. He's got some great content, Swiss Gold Global product-related content that's going to be really awesome on Wednesday. I hope I can make it, because I'd love to be part of that, Paul. And everybody go out and have a great week.
Well, you know what? If you're too busy having fun on the cruise to make it to the hangout, that's an acceptable excuse. Okay? If you got some BS thing that you got to run out and do because something has to get done that you don't have somebody hired in place to leverage and to get done for you, that's not an acceptable excuse. Okay? So if you're having fun and you can't make the cruise, dude, that's perfectly fine. We'll handle it. We'll get on without you, man, and you have some fun over there, okay? So with that, did you know that we don't have enough time to do the presentation, but we kind of skipped on that. So we're moving on to Chapter 7 next Monday. Oh, God, next new op day, we're moving on to Chapter 7, the third-party invitation, an awesome feature. We'll start picking up on that next new op day, and like John just said, Wednesday, we'll be here going. The new schedule, again, just for those who want an update. New Op Day is Own Your Life Day. Wednesday is Swiss Gold Global, independent business owner, website, just all the functionalities of the business. So we're going to start focusing on that. Thursday evening at 4:30 Mountain Standard Time USA is the Open Business Mastermind for Swiss Gold Global IBOs and anybody else that wants to come and share in these brain cells and maybe those brain cells and whatever other brain cells come in to join to help you expand your own brain cells, okay, and your business. And Friday is, Free for All Freedom Friday, and that's where we kind of focus a little bit on some mindset and that sort of thing. So we will see you here Wednesday, 8 a.m. Wednesday, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard, USA. O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom, with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. Say goodbye, John.